Hello everyone and welcome to another instalment of my uni experience. So,
oh, what fun! And now,
in this chapter I'm going to be going over everything that we have to do in detail, both as a way of keeping up to date with the series and for my own reassurance to make sure that I know what I'm doing. So, with the ending of the Beautiful Creatures play before Christmas, it seems now that we've got everything all at once. It's quite scary, really. It's like everything's going to happen at once and then it's all going to be over. First, I'm going to talk about every module that we have to do. My favourite one at the moment, and most busy, is the acting to camera one. One of the things I love about uni over college is that most of the course is acting based, no exams. I love that. In this module there are two things you have to do, part A and part B if you like. It must be quite condescending, like if you're in my course, if you're in my class and you're listening to me currently mansplaining the course, it must be quite condescending. Anyway, hello if you're watching. You can either confirm or correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Now the first thing that we had to do was learn a script and perform it in your given time slot. We were given our script and time slot on the 25th of January. They're for a feature film, but they were changed up so that we wouldn't know which film it was from, because they changed the names and a little bit of the dialogue, etc. So you couldn't see how the film was performed, how the scene was performed in the film, and just reenact it, because you meant to put it, act it how you think it should be acted. We were put into duos and tasked to learn the scripts. My time slot was on the 8th of February. I learnt the script over the coming week. As of writing this, it was the 2nd of February. Speaking all this recording, it is the 14th. Right? But my scene is basically where a man's girlfriend sneaks into this other person's apartment and she suspects the guy of being a murderer. Right? But yeah, we weren't told what the script was from, only that it was from a film, because it was also to stop the media students from being able to see how the film is filmed and to stop them replicating it. Now I decided to find out, just for the sake of it, I decided to find out, and I googled a little bit of my line, right? And I did find the script eventually, because they changed up the characters' names and part of the dialogue to make it harder. But I found it. It's from a film called Manhattan Murder Mystery, right? Now I still haven't watched it, and I'm not going to, because I'm content with how I play the character. I play Gerald, which is this version's equivalent, our version's equivalent of this character. Now I expected that I'd just be performing it on the 8th and that would be the end of it, until we have to make our PowerPoint on the thing. But no! On the 1st of February I had my acting for camera lesson where we had to learn this page-long script in like 30 minutes. That was fun. Because if you weren't filming, you had the lesson, and then the next week it was vice versa. But yeah, learning that script in 30 minutes was really hard. It was like definitely a challenge. I did do it though. Towards the end of the lesson, I got asked by one of the lecturers if I was free after the lesson, because the people whose turn it was to film weren't in for different reasons. One's dropped out of the course, the other, I don't know, but I'm not going to judge because you don't know the whole story. But yeah, I'm not going to judge them. Anyway, I was able to do it. I'd learnt my lines way in advance, so luckily I was able to do it. And I was paired up with someone who wasn't even doing the same scene as me, but they offered to help. So whereas I was off script, because they were doing a different one, they had the script with them. The lesson was like 1 till 4, then we were rehearsing 5 till 6, and then performing the piece and waiting for the crew to set up, so 6 till 7ish. We had to go over it many times, including just walking through it for the camera people, and I had to set up the table in a specific way so that I could rustle through stuff on the table in order to make some other stuff fall. when I need it to as part of the script. I probably overthought this, right? But there was like a box with a tiger on top of it. Next to it was some DVDs and some books and all. Because I'm going through it, and I knock the DVD, which in turn knocks this box with a tiger on it. Each duo had an accompanying duo which they had to watch, and the one duo had to watch the other duo and like make notes on like what they did, what the director suggested, just general stuff like that. I was observing Christian and Owen and made notes for them. We have to use the notes to make some kind of PowerPoint, apparently. The PowerPoint though is part B, which as of writing, we don't even know what we have to do about that exactly, so that's fun. The next big thing we have to do is our Greek theatre module. Now this too is split into part A and part B. Not officially, but that's how I'm looking at it, because that helps me to break it all down, right? Now since just before Christmas, we've had to create a performance based around Greek mythology. I'm in a group with Christian, Owen, Bronwyn and Belle for this. So 5 of us all together. Back in the early days of uni, we were grouped together based on our group's common interests. And we all coincidentally had Doctor Who as a common interest, as well as pop culture in general, I think. I don't know if you can see it all very well here, but there's all Doctor Who stuff. And Russell T Davies, the showrunner's autograph. Now as of writing this, we don't know how long we've got to do this, to have our performance ready. We don't know. I'm a bit scared for this module, I'm not going to lie. Our team is amazing though. Owen's an amazing writer, Bronwyn's phenomenal at poetry, Christian's going to be managing the technical stuff like the lighting and the sound and stuff, and Belle's really good at like choreography and costume. With all these roles being taken, you might ask like what I'm doing. What do I bring to the table? I'm coming up with like ideas. I supplied the baby costume, all this that we're doing. Well, my family did, really, bless them. It doesn't sound like I'm doing a lot when I describe like that. Just ideas and baby heads. But everyone's just sort of helping each other out as and when possible. I hope I am pulling my weight. I think I am, but I hope so. We've had quite a lot of lessons where we could work on our pieces, and we have staged a fraction of it and workshopped certain scenes. I play a god called Persephus, which is the male version of the female god Persephone. It's really hard to think of like how I'd play this character though. Like, it's really difficult, and it requires a lot more thought than I've currently had as of writing and now performing the script. Part A of this module is making and performing our piece. Part B is making a vlog or something about it afterwards. So like what we do for part A. We have to take photos. Maybe that's my extra role, because I'm very good at taking photos. I don't know. But I'm good at remembering to take photos of everything. I love photos. Whenever we go out, whenever we're doing things, I always take photos. The next module is actually 3 separate things. Right? 3 separate tasks. Task 1, or part 1, is theatre reviews, although lately we haven't had to do this, but this will soon change because we are going on a trip this Thursday. Right, that'll probably be covered in the next instalment. We need to do 5 reviews by the end of the year, but they have to have been from live plays that we've watched, I think. Now this can be put on hold for the time being. That's not an important / relevant task. Task 2. Every Monday we have a lesson where we learn about the history of theatre, which sometimes is quite interesting, right? I've got 60 pages of stuff, right, from all our lessons, with a lovely contents page for there. Right. Now I would rather be acting than learning about the history of theatre, but it's not bad. I do have my book, and I write down everything that we've learned during these lessons, because we do have to use it at some point. At some point, this is going to be like a Bible. But again, we haven't been told when it is. And the third thing we have to do is pick a play as a group and interpret it as a modern play whilst choosing a theme. But this can't be a simple PowerPoint presentation we got to do. Oh no. It's got to be interesting. It's got to be like fun and stuff. So we're doing the play Ubu Wa, pretty much a parody of Macbeth. But the main guy, Ubu, is grim in his ways. We have plenty of ideas for this, but like nothing's been decided yet, as it's still early days for this task. We have done we have started our PowerPoint and stuff, but there's a lot to do next. The next thing to focus on is our research-based lesson. In each lesson we have a small performance at the end of some kind. We record this for a grand total. It's meant to be 5, but so far we've only done 4. Right? If you turn up for each lesson, meant to be 5, but we have only done 4, and I've been to every lesson. I don't remember exactly what we have to do with this, because my brain is getting a bit overloaded with everything happening at once. At this very moment, I don't know exactly what we have to do with them, but I'm not prioritising this module yet, because the Greek theatre one and the Ubuwa thing is much more important. So, what do we have to do overall at the moment? Let's count it off. I'll go from left to right, obviously. Acting for camera, actually acting. Acting to camera, PowerPoint. Greek theatre performance. Greek theatre blog. Theatre reviews. History of theatre PowerPoint thing. Revamping a play in an interesting way. Choosing 3 out of 5 performances for a thing. And there is a 9th thing where we have to make a video essay, which I am actually looking forward to. But we haven't started this yet in any way, shape or form. So 8 things at the moment, 9 to come. Maybe if we ignore the theatre reviews and the history of theatre PowerPoint thing and the the video essay thing, then we've got 6 things we've got to think about that we're doing in the next month or 2. I do love a good challenge. It reminds me of A-level when I had to do 3 scripts all on the same day. I had to do my 2 pieces for A-level and Chicago when I was Amos Hart of Chicago all on the same day. It was like, I think it was night 2 of Chicago. As on the same day that we had our A-level performances to do. So that was fun. Now, next I'm going to talk about things that aren't strictly relevant to uni, but more outside of uni. I'm going to talk about me being in the audience for a TV programme. I was scrolling through Instagram a few weeks ago, as you do, and somehow I got an advert for a Welsh TV show advertising tickets to go and watch. I was intrigued, so I had a look. It was free, it was near my accommodation in Cardiff, and I was totally available at the time, so I thought, why not? I booked a ticket on the Saturday, I think it was. The show was on the Monday. Now at 6 PM, I had my lessons, as you do, right, as you do, and I watched a bit of Jonathan on my telly to see what I was going to be getting myself into. Jonathan's the name of the programme. I found my most sporty looking clothes, and I wore them because the programme is a sports programme. Now, I've never been interested in sports, any kind of sports. That's a lie. When I was 7 I used to do football, but that's about it. But I thought that a Welsh programme would be good practice to use the language. So I began my walk over to the studio. Shumai, so today is Monday the 29th of January. I had my 2 lessons, pretty good. And now in the evening I'm going to be a member of a live studio audience for a Welsh programme called Jonathan. It's going to be really good.
Exit the roundabout.
A few days ago I booked a ticket. It was free. Right, and I get a free drink with it as well as soon as I arrive. And I'm going to be on the Welsh telly, hopefully. Just fingers crossed. It's like a live studio audience thing. My only issue, it's a Welsh sports programme. I don't know anything about sports. I don't watch sports, football, rugby, a lot of it. I haven't got a clue. Cup and the Bee, the World Cup, not a clue. Or the Whale Lad, Six Nations, never watched it. But there we go. So not only would I not have a clue in what they're saying in English, doing Dusky come back. I'm learning Welsh, so I'm not going to know what they're saying in either bloody language. But yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a great experience. And you've got to sign this waiver about being allowed on telly and so on. You can grab a free drink, which has to be put into a red cup, because if you want to bring it into the studio, you can't have the logo of the drink seen on telly, because the programme can't be seen to be promoting logos. Apparently, which I thought was quite interesting. But I mean, to be fair, Casualty, when I'm on as an extra, has the same rule with clothing. Like, you can't have Adidas on your t-shirt or Nike trousers and stuff. They did have as well some funky hats that you could wear too. Obviously, I wore one. I wore a lovely Welsh leek. Right. Why a leek has a beard, I don't know. But there we go. I was pretty much on. I was on my own. No one else was. So it was a bit weird, but it was fun to look around. No one else is wearing a leek. Should I take it off or not? We got called into the studio later on and put into seats. I was put quite close to the front, luckily. I wore my glasses too, so I wouldn't struggle with my eyes being a bit like that. Everyone took off their Welsh hats before we went in, but I didn't. I was going to wear it for the thing, but I was asked to take it off because it obstructed the camera. It was a bit of a shame, really, but there we go. Watching the programme was really cool, and there were a few bloopers and stuff which were fun to watch, and they had to reshoot certain things, but it was quite interesting to see. And there was an auto cue on the side as well, so you could see what was going to be said next. Oh, and before the show started, they had us record some filler shots. Like, first we were told to imagine Jonathan had said something really funny and to laugh. So they recorded some shots of that. It would be like, okay everyone, ready, 3, 2, 1. Cut. Great. And then
croes yn ôl un o'n ni'n gallu dechrau chwe glad gyda Steffan Rodri a Nathan.
Really passionate clapping. We had to do some filler shots, that was fun. After the show had finished, we were allowed to walk around, take photos, speak to the guests and all. And I had a photo with Nigel Owens. I do like this photo, it's really cool, bless him. After that, we were ushered out of the studio and I went home. Shumai, so it is now 9 o'clock at night. They finished filming. I really enjoyed it. I got to keep the leek. I had a leek hat. Yeah, it was great. You go inside, you fill out a form, you get a free drink or two. I had two. And then later on, you go into the studio. And then in the studio, before they start filming the actual thing, they get you to pretend that he says something like really funny, and you've got to go like clap and all, and then they get you to do like a normal decent clap, and rehearse that. Because like at points in the programme they'll cut to the clapping and the laughing. So yeah, and then they started recording, and it was really fun. Like I understood a bit of it. And it wasn't as complicated as I thought it'd be. So I'm very, very happy. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed going to watch that. It was one of those experiences where I might not have been able to go if I didn't have accommodation here in Cardiff, given the time, because we finished filming at about 9:30. So I wouldn't have got home until about midnight-ish, by the time I got to the train station. And then to the bus which would take me home. Although I think the buses stopped running after like 10 o'clock, so I wouldn't be able to have got home. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. And now next I want to talk about my introvert day. I've covered everything academic, I believe. On the 31st of January I had an introvert day. A day to be on my own, devoid of anybody else. I'm moving over because that's where I take my photos. Stay away! Apart from over text, of course, I still text my mum and friends throughout the day, but in terms of being in person, it was only me. I think everyone should have an introvert day every once in a while to isolate yourself from the chaos of humanity and to treat yourself. You don't have to spend money like I did on activities and food and so on, but it can be nice to reset and charge your social batteries. Anyway, I woke up at about 9:30ish. Good morning, today is Wednesday the 31st of January. So, I got no lessons on this day. We don't have any on a Wednesday. So I'm spending the day walking around Cardiff. Join me as we do lots of seeing what Cardiff has in store. I've got a few ideas of what I want to do, but it's going to be partially oh, let's go down there, let's see what that's about. So I'm going to do quite a lot of stuff today. Let's see what Cardiff's all about, you know what I mean? I've never had an actual day to go about it, although I've got 8 hours. Well, I live in Cardiff, so it's 10 o'clock now. Ideally, I'd like to be back like 6 or 7ish, because things are going to start closing. Yeah, let's see what it's all about. Which was enough time to have a bit of a lie-in, and actually have loads of stuff to do as well throughout the day. You'd have about 8 hours, 9 hours outside. So it was nice to have a lie-in, but not too much. I didn't wake up too early to the point where I'd just be too tired to do anything. I actually planned to some degree a few days before on what I wanted to do beforehand. Look at this list. I was going to be going to Cardiff Museum and loads of other places, but I decided against it because I had already been there, I think it was 2 weeks ago, two weeks before the introvert day. But I never did document this, I don't know why. It was an activity that we did that slipped through the cracks. Anyway, I decided to go to Cardiff Castle first. I kept the ticket, but before I went into a joke shop, and I went inside for a laugh and look around, and I took a photo with Taylor Swift. I didn't buy anything, probably to the dismay of those owning the shop, because it was quite small and I was looking up and down the aisles, and it's quite short, quite a small shop, so you have to sort of not be careful. But it was right outside Cardiff Castle, so I went inside and I had a look. Outside the castle, I took a photo, I had a look at the map, I paid for my ticket, and I went past the man who checks your tickets. There were several cannons which I thought were cool, and I took some photos. Imagine wheeling this bad boy to battle. Oof.
Turn left.
You'd have more use using me than battering ram. I went inside the first building you're supposed to enter, and there's another bloke who works there who's a historian. He asks you to show your ticket, and he gives you a brief tour / description of the room and the armoury, which was from the Tower of London. Being able to look around and stay as I wished, the place was so regal. I went from the posh room. I'd love to have lived in this, look at that. I'd love it. I can't go any further because of the things, but you can see everything and I love it. So cool. To look at the armoury, and then to upstairs where there was a grand room. I found this really interesting. It was really cool. The introvert in me was buzzing. I loved it. It's like, apart from being stuck in the past, I wish I'd lived in them. And the ceiling, oh my god, they look so pretty. As you keep coming, you get to the library. I really wanted to read one of those books and like see the wisdom that they were carrying. I was enjoying the signs that you could read on the side with like information about the rooms, like what they were, any historical information available and stuff like that. Because not only was I on my own socially, but I didn't have to work around any screaming families or children running around the place. So it was just like blissful peace. It was, oh my god, it was like I was in heaven. I had a laugh with one of the staff at one point though, who was walking back and forth, because it's probably his job to make sure you don't steal anything, or like damage the place. And I said to him, "It must feel like you live here," which made him laugh. He said that it did, and some other stuff I don't remember, but it was nice. Unless he was just pretending to laugh. I don't know. But he was nice to me, bless him. Anyway, after that, I went for a little walk to the next bit,
So
which was the side of the castle.
One of the big castles over there. Really interesting. You see the inside of it. There's the library, the dining place. There was like nights from the Tower of London. There's a sitting room. Yes, really interesting. I'm genuinely like fascinated by it. I love it. It's a nice day out as well. I mean, I can get quite a lot of hours of a nice trip. Can I go in? No, I don't think I can go in there because it's locked. So we've got the steps next.
There was a little picnic area where you could take a photo outside of the castle. I went to the side of the castle where there were loads of like corridors and windows that you could look out of, making you feel like a medieval king. Eventually I got to the entrance of the main castle and I saw a couple who were like taking photos of each other in portrait. The woman took a photo of her husband and then they swapped back and forth. Now, I love photos, right? Photos are very important to me. I asked them if they wanted me to take a photo of them both and they said, "Oh yes please." And oh bless them, they looked so happy. I think they were very grateful that I took a photo of them because both. I don't know if they wanted one together or not, but I did one for them and they were very happy. Anyway, I went inside the castle where there's more info, reading the info signs scattered around. There were some people ahead of me here though, so I stayed in the castle on the bottom floor, just looking out the window and reading the info until they finish. The steps were very steep as you go up, but I got there and the view was amazing. I took several photos up here, of course. I loved it. I eventually came back down and looked around into more places.
I am outside of my castle. This is my castle. It's Cardiff Castle, but it's my castle. My very rich and snooty voice just makes it sound like I've got a snotty nose. It's very fair enough. I've got a few plans I want to do today. First with Cardiff Castle, then maybe Cardiff Museum, and then I might go to the market because it might be interesting. Spiffing.
I took some more photos, of course, until I briefly left the castle, thinking I'd seen everything there. I went for a walk, right then to Butte Park, because apparently it's meant to be really nice. And by sheer coincidence, that's where the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama is. Now, as I was walking past there, I had a little think of like how life might have been if I'd got in. Like for example, I'd definitely not have wasted £55, but how different would life have been? I wouldn't have met my amazing class today, that's for sure, and I wouldn't have had half the experiences I've already had. But what would have happened maybe instead? I can never know. It's like thinking about an alternate universe. Anyway, I went back to the castle, to the cafe, and I had a hot chocolate for a bit. By now it was like 1:10-ish, so I had a good 2.5 hours at Cardiff Castle, because I really enjoyed it. I love being able to spend a little bit of extra money on myself because of my job. It's days like that that remind me why I stick the place out. Anyway, after Cardiff Castle, I went to a lot of Cardiff markets and arcades. I loved going around like local shops and businesses. There was a shop where I bought 12 Welsh cakes for £6. It was like 60p for one or £6 for 12. And it was my special day, so of course I treated myself.
I bought a bag of 12 random Welsh cakes. I just think of a mixture of them. I'm not allergic to anything. She said, yeah, use one of them, I'm going to give them a go. Oh my god, it's delicious. It's so good. The 60p each, or it was 12 to £6. Really nice. My god. I'm treating myself today. I don't have anything on, I'm stuck in Cardiff. Well, I'm not stuck, I could go if I wanted to, but I'm not. I'm just looking around Cardiff. I do not regret buying these are very nice.
Oh my god, those Welsh cakes, they were so good. I do not regret the cost of them at all. I loved going around all the markets and the local shops. Like, it's just, I loved it. I eventually went and got some food. I had some Indian street food, which was very nice. Chicken, rice, chips, and some other stuff. I don't remember what it was, but it was very, very tasty.
Shemai, so today is the 31st of January. I don't have any lessons because it's a Wednesday, so I decided to have an introvert day. I'm doing lots of things around Cardiff on my own. It's quite nice. I like being on my own, treating the unintroverted me, the real, actual Jamie. Anyway, first thing I did, I went to Cardiff Castle. It was amazing. I loved it. So worth it. Walking around, seeing all the things, learning about it. It was really, really interesting. Walked around Butte Park. Really nice, quite relaxing. I went to the Cardiff markets then, where I'm in one of them now, and I'm having some food because currently just after midday. I got some lovely Indian street food. It's really nice. I've had a bit of it. I haven't had much of it at the moment. It's really nice. I've got a few more things planned for the rest of the day, but so far it's been amazing. I've really enjoyed today.
By now it was about 2:15 where I'd finished my food and I moved on to the next thing I wanted to do. I walked to Cardiff Bay, which was about a 30-minute walk. What's amazing about Cardiff is that everything is pretty much within a 30 to 40-minute walk. I went to Yanto Shrine for the first time in ages since we started uni. Because I went when we first started because we had a delayed lesson for like 2 hours. And back then, before around at the start of uni, I hadn't even watched Torchwood, the TV show, which is the TV show that the shrine is relevant to. But now I have. I've seen all 4 series. It's so good. It's like Doctor Who, but for adults. I got there, and I was enjoying seeing all the stuff that people have put there over time, taking photos, as you do.
I've come to Yanto Shrine. By here, I think it's by here that the door is, that they're going to the secret entrance. As I was here, some women came down and they were talking about the programme and how much they loved it and all, and discussing it. The character of Yanto and the actor and all that. It's so cool. I love listening to other fans geek out about the show. I love it. I love it. And they couldn't remember how Yanto died. And I was listening in because I was by here. They were like over there, and they were like he was poisoned in the Children of Earth mini-sode. You got that toxic gas, he inhales it. But yeah, I love it.
And eventually these people came to the shrine, right? So there was 2 of them. One was a fan of the show, the other one hadn't watched it. She starts talking about the show to her friend with such passion. It was so wholesome, and I felt a sense of pride. She said to her friend how she couldn't remember how Yanto died, or something along those lines. And because I was nearby, I heard and I told them. Yanto is a character in Torchwood, and he gets killed in the 3rd series. We had a lovely chat about the show. I don't normally like making small talk, but I very much enjoyed geeking out about the show. I went from Yanto's shrine to go and get some ice cream. There was a sign outside the shop where you could be an ice cream, and I went to try and take a selfie of myself as an ice cream, but some strangers saw me being a pillock, and they asked me if I wanted them to take a photo of me. I said yes please, yes please, and they did. It's a nice photo. I looked around the Cardiff Bay area. I went for a nice walk to the Millennium Centre. The reason was just to use the loo, to be honest with you, right? But I went inside. But on my travels, I saw that there was a radio station that offers like courses for young people. So I was like, that would be really cool. I put my name down for it because there's a waiting list, right? I thought it'd be exciting. It'd be a great experience if nothing. But yeah, I put my name down. I went to the loo. I left, and now all good things must come to an end. I left the stadium. I left the city centre. I left the building, and I began to walk back to my accommodation. I was out for about 6 hours-ish, 7-8 hours-ish, and I had a brilliant day. I just needed to charge my social batteries. I don't regret it one bit. It was great. I spent about like £50 overall on everything, but it was so worth it because now I've got that in my head, and it did charge my social batteries. It was great. It was just what I needed to escape from reality for a day. I would highly recommend those of you that are watching this to take a social day. Oh no, don't take a social day. Take an introvert day. In advance, plan what you want to do. Go and see a museum. Go and go karting. Go to the cinema. Go and do something. Go to the beach. I don't know. You don't have to spend money, but do stuff on your own for the entire day. Treat yourself, because I tell you what, it's like a detox from society. I would highly recommend. But anyways, that is the end of this video. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Have a good day. Don't forget to drink hot chocolate. Stay safe. And from me, it is goodbye for now.